Welcome back, Hoodoo family. I hope your day is going well. So happy to be here one more time with you in the land of the living. Giving honor and appreciation to the ancestors for just keeping us day by day. Family, today we continue our journey learning and making hoodoo mojos. The last video we made a lucky hand, and today I'll show you how to make a strong protection hand for yourself. But before we get started, I just want to say thank you to all of my subscribers and to all of you who are serious about traditional hoodoo. This means a lot to me. Thanks for leaving your comments and liking this video. I just really appreciate you. And I also seen a few of you talking about noticing more crows in your area. And I do have a video about crows, but I think I'll do another one here shortly because I too have noticed certain crow activity. So we're going to see what all of this means. But thank you all. I hope that what I'm putting out here is helping you on your hoodoo journey. Now, how many of you have seen the movie Sinner? I went to see this movie last weekend, and let me tell you, I really enjoyed that movie. I especially like the hoodoo references. Now, if you've seen the movie, you recall that the character named Smoke, played by Michael B. Jordan, he wore a mojo bag around his neck that his wife Annie had made for him years ago. And it was a protection hand. So today, I'm going to show you how to make one that looks like that one. Now, the one that he wore in the movie was very, very small, much smaller than the one that we'll be making today. So why do you need a protection hand? Well, as the old folks would say, to build a hedge of protection around you. And that is exactly what a protection hand does, spiritually and physically. A protection hand was the most popular type of mojo amongst our ancestors during and after slavery, and one of the earlier hoodoo works going all the way back to the colonial period. So it's been around for a very long time, and it is one of the more spiritually embedded mojos. So what gives a protection hand its power? Well, unlike the lucky hand that we made last week, a protection hand doesn't have too many nature spirits or items involved with it. It's usually just a very few strong and spiritually charged items. Its strongest power actually comes from God, it comes from nature, it comes from the universe, but especially from the ancestors. So the protection hand that we're going to make today is powered by the rising sun. And I'm going to tell you why as we build it. So let's go ahead and get started making a protection hand. First, I just want to say this. I really want to bless your hands, bless your efforts if you choose to do this. May your protection hand be a hedge of protection around you all the days of your life. Every time that sun rises out of the east, it's a promise to you that you're not alone. You've got protection, and you will make it through the day that is given you. So no matter how hard or low you might fall sometimes, just know that God and your ancestors will be there to lift you up, just like the sun rising out of the east every morning. So let's go ahead and get started. Family, for your protection mojo, choose a fabric that speaks to you, that expresses who you are, and that really resonates with you when it comes to protection. This is very important. Your hand, your mojo bag, is something that you will have on you all the time. or for a majority of the time. So it needs to be something that's not only comfortable to your skin, but it also has to be spiritually uplifting to you. I'm using blue velvet. This is turned inside out. This line that I'm showing you is actually my sewing line, so I'm going to be sure to cut around that and leave some trim around it. So it's going to end up being about 2 by 3.5. Okay, so I have cut this piece out from the larger cloth. And you see this white line? That's what I'm going to use to be my guide for sewing. And let me just show you this right here. So what I'm going to do, I put some pins in here. So this top pin is going to be my guide. I'm actually going to fold the cloth down just like this. And I'm going to start sewing right here. I'm going to start sewing right here at the bottom of this hem, and I'm going to go all the way around to the other side, to the bottom. So let me do that and I'll be right back. Okay, so now now that I've sewn all around the edge, I want to, on just each side, one at a time, the front and the back separately, want to make sure I have space behind here. I'm going to sew right across here at the bottom of this edge. Okay, so now I have sewn over to here, right at the bottom of this hem, and I'm just going to take my needle right there on the edge and push it all the way through to the other side. And I've already pinned this side. Now what I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to sew over to that side. Okay, so I finished sewing across on this side of the Mojo. Let me remove this pin. And I'm just going to tie it off right here, put a knot. And I've got too much slack in the thread. I'm going to tie it off right here. And there we go. So the bag is now complete. I can put up that needle and thread. So here we have the Mojo bag. I'm going to cut off. Let me see if I can get this in the camera. I just want to cut off some of this excess on the side, outside of the thread here, the stitching. And look, your Mojo bag, mine either, is not going to be perfect. And we're not looking for a perfect bag. You're going to have imperfections, and that's okay. That is perfectly fine. But here is the Mojo bag we've created. And we will move on to our next steps. So here we have our Mojo bag completed. It's small, there's irregularities with it, but the biggest thing is that it is made by my hands. It was my hands that made this bag. I know where the energy came from. I know what spirit went into making this bag. So it is a blessed and sacred bag made by my hands. And I want the ancestors, my ancestors, to bless this work that my hands have made. I want God Almighty, the Creator, to empower this bag with spirit. I want the universe to grace this bag with spirit. One thing that I recommend to you to help empower your bag before you do anything else with it, and this might sound gross, but this is a part of hoodoo, and it's a part of giving this bag your energy, your essence. And that is to do a little bit of spittle on the bag. Spit on it a little, not gobs, but just a little to give it your essence. Another thing that you can do that will help to tie this bag to you, to give it your essence, is to wipe your sweat on this bag. You can also add a few drops of liquor. One thing I'm going to do is add a little bit of this ancestor oil to my bag because I really want the power of the ancestors in here. And I'm just going to put it there at the top. Now, another thing that I'm going to do is to dress this bag with a little bit of the cedar oil that I made previously. Bless this bag. Give it strength. Give it life. Give it energy to be a vessel, a sacred vessel between me and my ancestors, between me and God, between me and the universe, like a star. Let me carry this and let it shine for me. Let it be that hedge of protection, that spiritual barrier that keeps me safe, physically and spiritually. Now that we have made our little protection Mojo bag, and family, I forgot to tell you, in addition to the oils that I showed you, if you have some protection oil on hand, you can use that to dress your Mojo bag. But if you don't have any oil at all, like I said, you can use a few drops of liquor. But here's one thing you can do as well. Take a fresh cut piece of ginger and just rub it all around the top of the bag, especially inside the bag. At the top, just rub it with ginger and get some of that fresh ginger juice on the bag. That's going to really energize it. So if that's all you have, let me tell you, that is very powerful in itself. But we have constructed the bag, so now it's time to add our spirits and our materials to the bag. So I'm going to first add some hair. Not sure if you can see this, but this is some of my hair, and I'm going to add that first. That is my essence. You can add clippings from your fingernails, clippings from your toenails, your hair. You can add just a tiny little snippet, like from the armpit of a worn shirt. Anything that has your essence on it, you want to put it in the bag first. Now, the next thing I want to add to here is something that's traditional. This is a little blue glass bead, and this is traditional hoodoo. The glass bead represents water. It represents actually Kalunga, the divide between the spiritual and the physical. Nothing can cross over Kalunga except through the east and the west. East, where it's born from the spiritual into the physical, and in the west, where it's leaving It dies from the physical into the spiritual. This blue bead represents protection from spiritual energies. Now, I do also have with me this little black, I think this is, I forgot what this is made of. I think it's obsidian. But I'm adding this bead. This is also traditional, a black glass bead for protection. And this was often used in traditional hoodoo for protection against ailments and illness, like heart and health issues. So I'm going to add the black bead into my little Mojo bag. And the next thing I want to add is, not sure if you can see this, I have some black walnut hulls ground right here that I'm pointing at. I want to add this to the bag because black walnut hulls is a very fierce, powerful defense. I mean, it really gives you great protection. Black walnut hulls is used not only for protection, but it's also used for even uncrossing and even into some cursing works. But in this one, we want to use it for protection because it is so spiritually strong. Now, of course, we have this little dried red pepper, and thanking the red pepper for giving its energy to this mojo, thanking the black walnut hulls, the beads, just really appreciating all of the spiritual energies that are being aligned to help protect me from all kinds of threats, all kinds of harms, and any types of enemies. And we also have some angelica root, just a little small piece. This is our root. Remember, I said every mojo should have some form of a root. And here we have angelica root to give us that divine protection, another very strong protection spirit. And I thank angelica root for being here for me, for working with God and my ancestors to keep me safe. So I'm going to add that into my little bag. Now, this is optional, but this is something that I had on hand, which is actually an alligator claw. Alligator, any part, is tremendous protection for you. You talk about a hedge of protection, any part of the alligator will give you that protection. So I'm going to thank this alligator paw and place it into my bag. Now, family, I just want to once again remind you, these are things that I have used. You can use whatever you have on hand that will help with your protection. I thank all of the spirits that have come together to protect and help me, to be here for me, to be that strength, to be the eyes, the spiritual eyes, to see threats, to see enemies when I can't see it, and to be there for me to help block me from those threats and those enemies, to help me overcome obstacles. Family, it's time to tie this mojo bag to us, to myself. And I want to tell you something here, the importance of string. The reason mojos have some sort of string attached to them is because that string is symbolic of a tie between me and this mojo. If a mojo doesn't have a string, it's not a mojo. It's not a genuine, authentic mojo. Every mojo has string of some sort tied in some kind of manner around it, and that's to bind it to you. Let's bind the mojo to us with our string. You can use any type of string or cord that you like. This is embroidery thread. Actually, I got this from Walmart. They come in all colors and they're about $3, but you get a lot of good use out of it for mojos. This is just a suede cord that you can use, and these come in a variety of styles, colors. The only problem is they do crumble. They have, I don't know if you can see this, but they crumble and little pieces fall off of them. But they're good, but just keep that in mind. Some of these cords will leave like black particles, dust on your skin. So, but you use whatever you choose. I have a safety pin, and I could have put it through there without opening it, but anyway, I'm just going to loop just a little of the string through the safety pin. Let's make sure you can see this. And what I'm going to do, starting at one opening, there's a little opening. There's actually 4 of them. On each side, there's 2 openings. You're just going to insert the pin into one of those openings, move it around, till it comes out the other end. And I'm just going to pull it through. Now where it came out on that opposite side, let me see if I can get a better view for you. So our string came out through this end, and right beside it is another opening. I'm going to take my pin and I'm going to do the same thing. Just run it through till it comes out on the other side. Now we have made a complete circle, and you can see you have, you get the string pulled through. Go ahead and cut this. So you can see that you've made a complete circle in here, so that you have a string coming out this side and that side, and it's looped through the others. So what you can do is just pull that together, and there you have your bag. Now, one thing I like to do as I'm pulling those strings through, and as I'm finishing off this mojo, once again, I want to thank the ancestors. I want to thank God for giving me the strength and the ability to create this mojo. That's what God gave us hands to do, to create and build. Almost at the end of every video that I make, you hear me say, go and create and build good and positive things in your life. Well, these mojos is some things that you can build in your life. Good and positive things that's going to help you in your life. So as I gather this string, I just pray, let the spirit, let the power of the universe bless this mojo. Give it power once more. Tie it to me, to strengthen me, to be that hedge of protection around me. Let this mojo protect me from all harm. Protect me from enemies I can't see, both seen and unseen. Threats, both seen and unseen. May this mojo be tied to me, one from another. Bind it together to the end. And as you can see, we've got this long string, and what you can do is take the two ends and tie them. I wouldn't tie a knot. I would just tie it one time, because sometimes you might want to add more things to the mojo or take some things out. So just tie it one time. And now you can just wear this around your neck and hidden under your clothes. Unlike the lucky hand, we're not going to surround this mojo with different things. You can if you want to, but really the primary power that we want to feed this mojo is the rising sun. So sit it in view of the light of the rising sun. We want the sun to bless this mojo, to give it power. And there's a reason for this. You know, as the sun rises out of the east, it conquers, it gives us the strength to conquer our enemies. And that's what we want this mojo bag to do. Like that rising sun, we want this mojo to protect us and overcome the darkness in our life. We want this mojo to be a light in our life, to bring light and power when we don't have any in certain situations. You know, we don't have to be afraid. As that mojo sits in the rising sun, it is taking on the power of the sun. And just like can't nothing stop the rising sun, that sun's going to rise every day, and it has since the beginning of time. And we are like that sun. This mojo gives us that strength and that power. And like nothing can't stop the sun, nothing can stop us. Nothing can stop you with the power of your mojo. We want this mojo to be blessed by the sun, the power of the rising sun, to raise us up in the presence of those who seek to tear us down. Just like that sun rises up and just abolishes the darkness. That's what we wanted to do with our enemies. And we look to the power of God to empower this mojo. Like I've said, the power of, your ancestors, the power of nature and the universe. Everywhere you go, these powers is with you because you have taken the time to bless this mojo with the sun and all of the critical powers that be to help you on your journey. So as you move forward to feed your mojo, simply let it sit in the light of the rising sun. Do this periodically. And also, very similar to the lucky hand, you can put drops of liquor, you can put your sweat, your spit, you can put your protection oils right here on the top of the mojo protection bag. Family, I hope this video has been helpful to you and that you will give it a try and make yourself a protection hand. Follow the steps and you will have a strong protection hand to build a spiritual hedge of protection around you. But if you would like to learn traditional hoodoo, check out my Hoodoo Basic Training textbook. It has everything you need to get started in the lessons that include assignments, there's quizzes, there's resources, all kinds of information in there, step-by-step instructions for everything. So go check that out. The link is in the description, available on my website and my eBay store. But I also have the 2024 and 2025 Hoodoo Almanacs. These are collector's items. There's lots of great Hoodoo tips, information in there, along with predictions for each of those years. So, family, I really appreciate you taking this journey with me through the fascinating world of Mojos. And we're going to continue this journey in the next video. So until then, have a productive and prosperous Hoodoo journey.